Welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into a question that's been on the minds of so many men in the world of dating and relationships. Why do women pull away, even after showing interest? At first, everything feels right. You're texting, laughing, connecting, then suddenly, she becomes distant. Her replies slow down, her energy shifts, and you're left wondering, what happened? Before you blame yourself or spiral into confusion, take a breath. Let's break this down. Part 1. It's not always about you. Here's the truth most guys never hear. When a woman pulls away, it doesn't always mean you did something wrong. In fact, it's often not about you at all. Many women pull back for reasons that are deeply emotional, personal, or even biological. Sometimes it's stress, other times it's uncertainty, and often it's part of the natural flow of attraction and connection. That initial high of infatuation may have passed, and now she's subconsciously checking, is this something real? Or do I feel safe moving forward with this guy? This space can be a test, a pause, or even a moment of reflection. Part 2. She might be testing your commitment. One powerful reason women pull away: she's testing your level of commitment. Now, before you assume it's some sort of game, relax. It's not necessarily manipulative. She might want to see how you handle distance. Will you panic? Will you chase? Or will you respect her space and stay grounded? This is key. Women on a deep emotional level want to feel secure. They want to know that their partner isn't just showing up when everything's easy, but also when things get emotionally complicated. By pulling away, she's seeing whether you're genuinely invested or just in it for attention, validation, or convenience. Let's say you've been talking to a woman for a few weeks. Things are going well. You're texting daily. Then, the texts get shorter. The replies are delayed. Maybe she cancels plans. Most guys, they freak out. They double text. Ask her if something's wrong. Push for answers. Big mistake. Why? Because this screams insecurity and neediness, and nothing kills attraction faster. Part 3. What to do when she pulls away. So what should you do instead? Stay calm, stay focused, give her space, continue living your life, work on your goals, go to the gym, see your friends, develop yourself. Let her feel the absence of your presence, not because you're punishing her, but because you're already whole, with or without her attention. When a woman senses that you're secure within yourself, that you're not shaken by temporary distance, it builds trust. It tells her, this man doesn't just need me, he chooses me. Part 4. Emotional dynamics most men miss. Here's something that's not talked about enough. Most men miss the emotional rhythm that women experience in relationships. Women often connect in waves. Sometimes the tide is high, they're all in. Other times, they retreat to process, reflect, or regain emotional balance. This isn't a flaw, it's human nature, but men often interpret it as rejection, so they act out, either by clinging or withdrawing themselves, and that's when things really fall apart. The goal is to understand the emotional dance, not try to control it. You don't have to chase, and you don't have to disappear. You simply have to stay grounded in your value. Part 5. Final thoughts, redefining attraction. So let's redefine what it means when a woman pulls away. It's not a breakup. It's not always a red flag. And it's not necessarily your fault. Sometimes it's just a moment, a pause, a space where something new can grow if you handle it the right way. Stay confident, respect her space, stay focused on your purpose, because the truth is, attraction isn't just about what you say or do, It's about how you carry yourself when things are uncertain. Part 6. She needs space to regain control. Let's move on to the second reason why a woman might pull away. She needs space to regain control. Now, this one is subtle, but extremely important to understand. In any growing connection, especially when the emotions are running high, people can start to feel like they're being swept up by the current. For women, this can sometimes feel like they're losing control, not just of the relationship, but of their own emotional balance. When a woman pulls away, it might not be about you at all. It could simply mean she needs to hit pause, not on the connection, but on the emotional intensity. Think about it. At the start of any romantic relationship, things move fast. The conversations are deep. The connection feels intense. The chemistry is off the charts. But with all that intensity comes a very real question. Am I still in control of myself? For many women, emotional safety and control are deeply connected. If she starts to feel like her feelings are becoming overwhelming or she's giving too much of herself too soon, she may instinctively take a step back, not to end things, but to recenter herself. It's a reset, not a rejection, and that reset is necessary. She might need time to check in with herself. Am I moving too fast? Am I still making time for my personal goals? Do I feel grounded in who I am? You see, for a relationship to be healthy, both people need to feel like they're standing on their own 2 feet. If she starts to feel like her sense of self is getting lost in the dynamic, she'll pull back. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because she wants to protect her emotional balance. Let's be real. You've probably felt this too. Maybe someone gave you constant attention, affection, praise. And even though it felt good at first, eventually you needed space. Not because you didn't care, but because it was too much too soon. It's the same thing here. Women, just like men, need to maintain their independence and sense of identity, especially in the early stages of love or infatuation. Part 7, what you should do. So what's the best thing you can do if she pulls away to regain control? Respect her space. Avoid over-analyzing or over-pursuing. Trust the connection you've already built. Do not pressure her for reassurance. Don't bombard her with texts or ask, "Is everything okay?" every hour. Instead, take it as a sign that she values her personal growth, and that's a good thing. In fact, when you show that you can support her independence without falling apart emotionally, you're showing massive strength and maturity. That space she's asking for, it's often temporary. When she feels like she's rebalanced, she'll return. Not because you chased her, but because you gave her the room to breathe. Part 8, why this matters for long-term success. Here's the thing. Most guys don't realize relationships thrive when 2 whole individuals come together, not 2 people clinging to each other out of fear or insecurity. If a woman feels like she can be herself around you, that she can take space without it becoming a crisis, you become more attractive, not less. You're showing her that you're not trying to control her or the relationship. You're showing that you value her as a complete person, not just a source of attention or emotional validation. And that kind of maturity, it sets the foundation for real lasting connection. Part 9, you're moving too fast for her comfort. Another major reason a woman might pull away is this. You're moving too fast for her comfort. Now let's be honest. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of a new connection. The chemistry is great. The conversations are flowing, and you start imagining the future. But here's where many guys unintentionally derail the dynamic. They push forward faster than she's ready for, And it's not always about sex or commitment. It's the emotional intensity and the expectations that build up too soon. Even if she was initially into you, moving too fast can trigger emotional overwhelm. She might begin to question, do I really know this person yet? Is this going too far? Too soon? Am I ready for this? Remember, trust takes time. And women, especially those who are in touch with their emotional boundaries, need space to build that trust before things deepen. If it feels like you're racing ahead, it can leave her feeling like she's being swept along, not choosing the direction. This doesn't mean she doesn't like you. It just means she needs the relationship to unfold at a pace where she can feel in control, present, and emotionally safe. Pushing for commitment after a few dates, rushing into deep conversations, or treating a new connection like you've known each other for years, these things can unintentionally create pressure. And when that pressure builds, distance often follows. What to do instead? So how do you avoid this? Simple. Match her pace. Stay aware of emotional cues. Let things grow organically. Every person has their own comfort zone. Some people love fast-paced romance. Others need a slower build to feel safe. If you notice her energy pulling back, don't try to pull her forward. Instead, meet her where she's at. Let her come toward you at her own speed. And most importantly, stay grounded in the belief that if the connection is real, it doesn't need to be rushed. Part 10. She's afraid of getting hurt. Let's talk about one of the most human, most relatable reasons a woman might pull away. She's afraid of getting hurt. Look, we all have a history. Past relationships, heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment. Emotional wounds don't just disappear. And for some women, the closer they get to someone, the more vulnerable they feel. And with vulnerability comes fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being left. Fear of trusting someone and then getting crushed. So when things start to feel too real, it can trigger her emotional defenses. She might start pulling away, not because she's losing interest, but because she's trying to protect herself from pain she's experienced before. This fear isn't about you specifically. It's about what you represent. A chance for real intimacy, a chance for real love. And with that comes the real risk of heartbreak. So when she retreats, it might be her subconscious saying, is it safe to open up to him? Will he really be there if things get messy? What if I fall and he walks away? This fear is powerful, and unless it's understood, it can sabotage great connections. How you should respond, 1930. So what should you do if she's pulling away because of fear? Start by showing that you're emotionally consistent, that you're safe, that you're patient. Don't pressure her to open up or push for immediate answers. Instead, give her reasons to trust you through your actions, your stability, and your respect for her boundaries. Let her see that you're not going anywhere the moment things get vulnerable. This kind of emotional safety creates an environment where fear starts to fade and connection can deepen naturally. Because when a woman realizes she can trust you, not just when things are good, but also when they're complicated, that's when real intimacy begins. Part 11. Relationships. Trigger deep vulnerability. Here's something most people don't talk about enough. Relationships bring out deep vulnerability. And for many women, that vulnerability can feel like a ticking time bomb. The deeper the connection, the more there is to lose. If she's pulling away, it could be because she's feeling too much, too fast. And that intensity, It scares her, not because she doesn't like you, but because she's terrified of what it could mean if it all falls apart. Let's face it, everyone brings some emotional baggage into a new relationship. For some women, that could be past heartbreaks, broken trust, or even trauma that makes vulnerability feel dangerous. When a woman starts pulling away for this reason, it's often a self-protective instinct. She's not trying to hurt you. She's trying not to get hurt herself. And the worst thing you can do in this moment is push. Pressuring her to stay close, open up, or to find the relationship before she's ready will only push her further away. What she needs is reassurance, not in words, but in your actions. Show patience, respect her emotional timing, be a calming presence in the storm. Let her see that you're not going to disappear or demand more than she can give right now. The goal is not to convince her, it's to create a space where she feels safe enough to come closer on her own terms. Once she sees that you're not rushing her, that you're not going to punish her for needing space, that's when the walls begin to come down. That's when trust is built. Part 12, she's not sure you're worth the risk. Let's talk about one of the hardest truths in dating. Sometimes she pulls away because she's not sure you're worth the risk. And no, this doesn't mean you're not a good person. It just means she's evaluating the relationship with a long-term lens. Relationships are emotional investments. And like any investment, there's risk. The risk of time, vulnerability, disappointment, even heartbreak. So when she starts acting distant, it might be because she's asking herself, is this going somewhere? Can I trust him to show up emotionally? Is he consistent enough for me to build something real with? Even if you feel like you're doing all the right things, being kind, giving her attention, spending time together, there's a chance she's not feeling the depth or future she's looking for. This doesn't mean you're inadequate. It just means the emotional alignment might not be there yet or at all. And here's the kicker. Her pulling away might not even be a conscious choice. It could be instinctual, her way of creating space to reflect, reassess, and protect herself. What you can do. So what do you do when she's unsure you're worth the risk? Don't chase, don't beg, don't spiral into overthinking. Instead, become the kind of man who is worth the risk. Be emotionally consistent. Be present, not pressuring. Focus on your purpose and personal growth. Give her time to miss you. Let her see, through your calmness and self-respect, that you're someone who doesn't need to convince anyone of your value. You simply are valuable. And if she doesn't come back, that's not a loss. It's clarity. Part 13, she's keeping her options open. All right, let's talk about another reason a woman might pull away. She's keeping her options open. This one can be tough to hear, but it's part of the natural dating process. In the beginning stages of a relationship, it's easy to feel like you're the only person in her world. But the truth is, she might still be exploring other connections, figuring out if you're the one she wants to commit to. It's not that she doesn't like you, it's just that she's trying to ensure she's making the right choice. No one wants to settle, especially when emotions are involved. If she pulls away because she's unsure, don't take it personally. Instead, give her the space she needs. Let her make her decision without pressure. And in the meantime, focus on your own life, your own passions, and your own growth. This doesn't mean the relationship is over. It just means she's in the process of figuring out whether or not you're the right fit. If she comes back, it'll be because she values what you have together, not because you chased her into a decision. Part 14. You're not being the man she needs. Now here's one of the hardest truths to hear. You're not being the man she needs. Let me break this down. If you're constantly chasing her, showing up whenever she needs you, and putting her on a pedestal, you're doing it all wrong. Here's the thing, women want a man with his own life, goals, and purpose. If you're always available, always chasing her, you've lost the balance of attraction. You're no longer the mysterious, intriguing guy she once found exciting. You're now predictable and, frankly, a little too available. Attraction thrives on challenge. When she knows she can have you whenever she wants, the excitement fades, and with it, her interest. The key is to stop chasing her. Start focusing on your own life, your goals, your purpose, and your passions. This will naturally make you more attractive. It isn't about playing games. It's about keeping the mystery alive by maintaining your independence and being confident in who you are. If you're always available, always chasing her, she'll feel like she has already won and likely will start pulling away. So here's the reality. Instead of chasing after her, live your life. Be the man who is focused, busy, and passionate about his own journey. This will ultimately create a stronger, more sustainable attraction. So here's what we've learned today. Women pull away for a variety of reasons, whether it's because they're protecting their emotional safety, unsure of the risk, or they're still exploring their options. And each of these reasons requires a different approach. But here's the key: patience, confidence, and self-respect. Don't chase. Live your life. Let the relationship develop at its own pace. If she's meant to be in your life, she'll come back when she's ready. But only if you're living with your own purpose, your own goals, and your own passions. I want to hear from you. Have you experienced a woman pulling away? Have you ever made the mistake of chasing her? What did you learn from the experience? Drop a comment below. I'll make sure to connect with you directly and share thoughts on how to move forward in a healthy, balanced way. This is more than just content for me. It's about building real connections and helping you level up in your relationships. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can stay up to date with more content like this. Remember, stop chasing, focus on your growth, and the right woman will find her way to you. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and stay grounded.